Today we're at the Wimmera Field Days at Longrenong, which is just out of Horsham in the western districts of Victoria. A large broadacre cropping area and one of the most productive areas in Victoria. We've got a combined presentation under the Bendigo group of Rural Bank and Rural Finance. But one of the most important things we've got here today is we've got the National Centre for Farmer Health. With our partnership between Rural Bank and the National Centre, it's a great opportunity for us to have them here and do some health checks on the local farmers. So why would a bank offer free health checks? We rely from a rural bank perspective on profitable and sustainable long-term farming businesses. You can't have them without farmers and you can't have them without healthy farmers. So it makes a logical sense to us to actually support the health and well-being of our farming community, which helps the businesses, which helps the local community, and they're the communities that we rely on for our business and supports the farming business at the same time.
I think it's a great initiative because they're creating access to a service that some farmers may not access. So they might not choose to go into their GP. They may have an ailment or an ache or something that needs to be attended to, but they'll go, oh, yeah, okay, I'll deal with it at some other stage.
There is quite a difference between the general health of rural and remote communities compared to our metropolitan cousins for a numerous number of reasons, but a lot of it can be just access to healthcare, opportunities and the ability to actually see someone.
You have that first thought of, oh no, I'm fine, but I'm here, so yeah, may as well. Sometimes you don't have time between farming and work, so you don't have time to do it.
The health and lifestyle assessments that National Centre for Farmer Health provide are mini assessments which are still quite comprehensive. We have a survey, so that's called a lifestyle survey, that we get them to complete before they come in for the actual physical assessment, just to get a little bit of an idea about their farm practices, particularly their farm safety practices and some of their lifestyle practices at home and where they may be creating risks with their health. So we also look at their social and emotional wellbeing as well. We use a screening tool called a Kesler 10, which is a series of 10 questions which they answer, and it covers areas in terms of nervousness and anxiousness, depression and stress.
There's a lot of different issues that are out of our control, and the weather has a lot to play in things that don't apply in the city that they do in the rural areas.
There is a lower life expectancy for people that live in rural areas. They also are at risk of having higher incidences of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes, as well as increased risk of accidents and chronic lung diseases. There's also increased incidences of suicide in rural areas as well.
That's where us having these type of health checks at a field day where farmers are going anyway, I think that helps to try and cover some of that divide that we do see between ourselves in the rural and remote areas and the metropolitan areas.
It's really important that we have access to the women as well, and that we don't just focus on farming men.
We had the National Centre in a similar setup to this down in Warrnambool at the SunGold Field Days a few weeks ago. During the 3 days they had just over 100 farmers come through for a 20-minute health check. Interestingly, which you could take it either way, but 70% of them had been referred on to either a doctor or for a hearing or sight check. So as much as that might sound like an alarming figure, it's actually quite encouraging that people are being encouraged to go the same way.
It's linking agriculture, or it's linking health, and our banks are a great source of reaching people in agriculture as well. So I think we can, work in relationship and partnership really well.
We're now day 2 into a 3-day field day here. We had 30 people through yesterday, and once again we've got people lined up waiting for health checks now. So it's been a fantastic result.